Hello, my name is Jimmy and this is the brand new 2023 BMW X1 and it's completely new from front all the way to back. This is very, very interesting. It's kind of like a miniature BMW X3. I mean, kind of makes sense, but it's not a rear-wheel drive platform. It's actually a front drive platform. But here in Canada, you get one engine option and X-Drive, all-wheel drive as standard. Let me tell you everything that you need to know about it, starting with the styling. The front end is basically like, well, all new BMWs. It's very, very bold. You got a big upfront grille, beautiful LED headlamps with the signature daytime running lights. It's a good looking front end. And because this has the X-Line package, you get some silvery bits and some gloss black plastic bits on the bottom as well. On the side here, we got these 18-inch wheels, which aren't too bad. I mean, they vary in size depending on the trim packages that you go with. Once again, the X-Line package, silver, gloss black, you get that all over the vehicle. I do like this, well, matte silver mirror caps here. That does look good. You do get proximity door locks on these new flush door handles, so you can't lock the doors on the front. But sadly, no way to unlock them in the rear. You do have to unlock them in the front first, then go to the rear. And then swing around the back, we got the roof spoiler on top and these really, really beautiful tail lamps on here. I love the rear end. It's very distinctive. It's a very BMW look and shape, but there's something about it that just makes it look more macho, beefy than, well, the previous generation X1. We do have a power trunk here. As we open it up, we see 25.7 cubic feet, which is actually pretty good. I mean, moving my bag out, you can see it's a decent space, but there's more. Underneath, this is a huge area that you can put a lot into. It's a vast area for whatever you need. You can put all your stuff underneath it, then you can put the cargo cover back on the top and everything is hidden. Of course, the only negative is this is not easily removable. So if you just want a big open space, you can't have that. But you can take this tonneau cover off whenever you need. But you can't stow it inside the vehicle. You kind of have to yeet it somewhere else. The rear seats, you can fold them 40, 20, 40, but you will have to fold them on the inside. So let's take a look at that. All right, the back seats. I'm 5'11", and with the front seat adjusted to me, I'm very comfortable in here. I got plenty of headroom. Legroom is also really, really good. For a compact SUV, this is terrific, really, it is. The panoramic sunroof lets in plenty of light. It's actually a very airy place to be back here. You do get vents as well as USB charge points in the middle. And I have an armrest in the center with my cup holders. It's not a bad place to be. Yes, some of the plastics is a little rougher back here, but I mean, for the people that's going to be in the rear seats, I don't think they're going to mind that much. And if you're going to be carrying kids, this rougher kind of material will stand the test of time a little bit better. Speaking of kids, I am a child passenger safety technician. And as you can see here, on the passenger side, I have a Collect 5. This is a rearward facing seat. As you can see, no problems fitting a child seat in here. There's plenty of room, even for a passenger in front of that seat. On the driver's side, here's a Collect Lane. This is an infant seat, and I can put that infant carrier in and out of the cabin with ease. The doors don't open a full 90 degrees, but the doors are wide enough for you to gain easy access to those rear seats. As far as lower anchors are concerned, you get one set on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. They are very easy to get access to, as you're just behind these covers, and there are 3 upper anchors behind the bench itself, but you won't be using all 3 at the same time as, well, the cabin isn't wide enough for 3 seats across. But let's move up to the driver's side. All right, the front seats. These are superbly supportive. I love these seats. They hug you really, really well. And I got the thigh extension cushion on the bottom as well. Nothing wrong with them. Like, they're just really, really good seats. They are heated, but not cooled, unfortunately. So you don't get that as an option. And also no massaging. But, I mean, it's an X1. I didn't really expect that. I do have a heated steering wheel. And it's quite beefy, but not like super beefy like an M Sport steering wheel would be. But this is still really, really nice. You got really simple buttons laid out on the left and the right for your infotainment, as well as your like cruise and whatnot controls. But it's a modern steering wheel. I love the silver accent in the center. It just looks really, really cool. And that modern piece goes behind as well, as you get a really nice digital cluster. The cluster is a little bit smaller than the infotainment screen, but I think it's fine because the top of the wheel, it cuts into that cluster a little bit. So you don't need it, well, as large as the infotainment. It shows you everything that you really need. There's a few different layouts and menus that you can choose from. It's a really good system. The only thing is, if you're used to older BMW systems, well, it's very, very different. Like there's not that BC button that you can have on the cluster here or on the toggles. You don't get that anymore. But you do have a heads-up display, and it is a color heads-up display and shows you plenty of information up there as well. Infotainment, this is the new iDrive system. It works the way that you expected. You don't get the iDrive controller knob anymore, but you do get a dedicated volume slider as well as forward and track buttons here. I mean, overall, it's fine. You do get some climate hard buttons like max fan for the defrost on the front as well as rear, but that's it. Everything else you have to go through the screen. For some, that's not going to be a problem because you set your temperature on auto and you leave it. That's totally fine. However, if you're like the person that likes to play around with those settings pretty constantly, then that might be an annoyance to you. Overall, like it's a really nice cabin. The stitching that's on here is really nice. It spans from the door all the way to the dash. And this silver trim, it's a very premium feeling interior. You do have a wireless Qi charger down in the center with a little kind of hook, I guess, or bar that holds your phone in so your phone doesn't go flying. You got your charge points. Like, it's just a nice place to be without being weird. I mean, the iX, that was weird. It was still nice, but weird. This is just a new era of BMW, and I must say, it's different, but I do like it. Let's talk a bit about the powertrain before we go. As said, all Canadian models, as well as in the US, comes with one powertrain option. It's a 2-liter turbo that makes 241 horsepower. All of that is fed through a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic and all 4 wheels thanks to xDrive. And all of that translates to a 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds, which honestly isn't too bad for this class. It's actually on the quicker side. I mean, you can get faster, but it's more than enough in terms of acceleration. And whenever you just need to, well, accelerate, currently driving 50, floor it, it just goes. It's very instantaneous. The throttle modulation is terrific in here. There's nothing really wrong with the transmission other than, well, because it is a dual clutch, there are times where it's a little dim-witted and it just doesn't want to accelerate normally. It happens generally like on hills and just those odd occasions where you get a little bit of that jerkiness. For this type of vehicle, sometimes it's just, well, you just want that premium product, and that dual clutch doesn't give you that premium product kind of feel to it. That's the only downside to it. Along with, well, I have no way to control it. I mean, yes, there's reverse, neutral, and drive down here, but I don't have paddles. What's a dual clutch without paddles? I get it. Most people that's going to be driving an X1 won't care. Probably at all. But it's a dual clutch. Give me my paddles. I want to control this transmission my way. I mean, I have this lever where I can put it to L, and now it's in L3. But that's it. I have no way to control those shifts, which is kind of a shame because, well, I just want to get more out of this transmission. I want to just be more engaging with the vehicle. The steering is great, and it just makes me feel like I'm in a little go-kart. It does have that mini vibe. It's so accurate, and, well, it's so darty as well, because just changing directions, you're going to get your passengers all sick with, well, all the motions that you're going to be going through. But it's great. It feels really, really good on the road. It's planted and it's soft, but it still feels like an agile vehicle. Don't know how BMW does this, but they just really make good cars. And even the base, the X1 here, still a great driving vehicle. Sure, it's still a front drive type all-wheel drive system, but you know, for this type of vehicle, no one really cares. And when you're kind of just all over the road like this, you could care less. It's just a terrific vehicle to drive on smooth roads or mountain roads. The only thing is pricing. The X1, I mean, it's not like it's the cheapest vehicle in the world. Here, as equipped, it's about 55,000 Canadian dollars. A base price, 45,800 Canadian dollars, or about 33,600 in the US. So yes, you can get it for under 50, but chances is you're not, because you're going to stack on options. And options you will stack on, because, I mean, I'm very thankful that I get, well, blind spot monitoring now. In 2022, you couldn't even get that. Well, you do now, which is great. But at 55, I still don't get adaptive cruise. What's up with that? And I have lane keep. Actually, no, I don't have lane keep. I have lane departure warning, but not lane keep. So like, I mean, if I sway outside the line, it's going to warn me. It's going to tell me, and it's going to try to sway me back, but I can't be kind of more hands-off driving, which at this price, on lower price vehicles, like non-premium brands like Toyota, Honda, Mazda, I get those options. So yes, I get it. It's a premium brand. You're paying for that badge, but kind of wish, you know, some of those active safety standards are standard, because they do help. It's not just, you know, when you're on the highway or whatnot. It's just during long trips, if you get a little drowsy, you have the ability to turn those features on, and it can help save a life. That's something that I wish all vehicles have standard. But in any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.